Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Today we're gonna go over to the Ashwoods and do some trail cleaning and get stuff ready so I can get some logs out of there. So yesterday I went over there and I cut up a bunch of down trees. There was, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 pretty good trees, some locust trees, some ash. I think there's even a sycamore. I went through there and cleaned up everything that had fallen in last year. I cut it all up into rounds, so now I have to retrieve it. So I don't know how I'm going to retrieve it yet. I've got some ideas, whether I'm just going to use the mini skid in the big bucket or I'm going to use my Defender. I'll show you when I get down there and you can maybe give me some tips of how I should do it. But before I get down there, I'm going to take the Bobcat E20 mini excavator and go through all the trails and clean them up. Just push off any stuff that has fallen, smooth the stuff out, and then all the trees that I did cut up, I'm going to kind of pull them all together so when I go down there with the bucket, everything is in one kind of central area and I'm not stretching out, you know, 40 feet of the length of the tree. So I've got the E20 and then I got my little top handle Husqvarna there. Everything should be cut up, but it's always a good idea to bring a chainsaw if you're going to go into woods to move trees. Hauling it in the Liberty dump trailer here behind the dump truck. All right, we're done talking, we're going over there. All right, guys, so I'm back here in the woods now, and I'm on this main trail here that you can see to the right and the left. And then I got this small trail over here on the right. This trail's all falling in. You can't even really tell where the trail is. I'm giving you yesterday, like I said, I cut all this stuff up into logs that I could easily move with the excavator. And the excavator is definitely one of the best trail clearing tools because it's just like you're main trail has so many accesses to other trails, and that's where all the wood is. So I've been logging this woods, not logging it, I've been getting firewood out of this woods for many years, like 5 probably, because stuff just keeps falling down, and I've always had to park way up at the road and drag it all the way out there. I've never had a dump truck, and I think my plan is now I'm going to widen this main trail enough to where I can drive my dump truck down here, and it will save me like 10 minutes per trip using like a Bobcat and a bucket rather than driving it all the way out there. So I've gone into like, I'm clearing this thing now. I'm gonna make it, I don't know how many times I'll take the dump truck down here. Maybe I'll learn my lesson pretty quick, but I think I'm gonna take the time and de-log and these little thorn bushes. They're not thorn bushes, they're I don't know what they're called. They're invasive species, they grow everywhere. I can't remember the name. They're everywhere though. I'm gonna pull this stuff out and make this wide enough to where I can drive my dump truck back here and save me a ton of time. At least if I can get it to like a point, maybe I can't get it all the way back to where I want to, but it'll save me a ton of time. So that's what I'm doing. So I got this spot cleared through here. It was kind of tight, but I think I'm gonna get all the way back to where I want to get. I think it's gonna work. I wouldn't want to drive a nice pickup back here, but my dump truck, I don't mind putting a few scratches on it because it's got plenty of them. So far, so good. I think this is going to work. Departing into what I call the bottoms here, and I built this road 3 years ago now. I used my Coyote tractor. I'll link the video up above if you want to check it out. But previously this was really steep and it went right down there, and there was no way a tractor or something's getting down there, or a buggy would. So I cut this out here, this like hillside, shoved it all that way, and then I go down that way. So I have put a ton of time out here of making things easier to get to, and there's never going to be enough wood out here that will like supply me, you know, my firewood business all year. But there's so much wood out here that it could easily heat a house each winter, because there's so much stuff that falls down. And this hill does no justice of how steep it is going down it, but I gotta put my boom down because otherwise I feel like I'd probably tip over. But as you can see, there's just tons of stuff falling down everywhere, and I'm trying to get it all cleaned up so I can easily get through here. And once you see how much stuff I cut up, it's too much good wood just to leave, even though it's kind of hard to retrieve it all. Goes out this way. So this area down here is absolutely loaded with black locust trees, and they seem to fall every winter when it knocks them down. And I think it's pretty wet soil down here, so they're just rotting, but you can kind of see I have a punt cut up here. And I'm going to pull them all together, make a pile. That way when I come back with the bucket, they're all kind of closer together. So as you can see here, all this wood fell into like brush, and I cut it up. But I'm using the excavator to pull it all out and kind of make piles of it. And as you can see, like right over here because while I can go in there and pull it all out by hand, but it's just so much easier to just roll up to a pile and load it all into a bucket rather than chasing it all, you know, out of the brush and briars. And this locust wood is pretty heavy, and I'm a weenie, and if I can work a little bit smarter and use my excavator while I'm down here to clear this stuff out, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll show you here. I got no thought. Yeah, pull that stuff out, slide it over here, that's a pile. Then I'll also get back in there and pull all that stuff out to this pile too. I'll show you when I'm done. Yesterday, the good stuff, the bad stuff, I'm just going to shove off the side. The good stuff I'm going to set to the side, the other side, and I'll cut it up for firewood. cut up and get out of here too. That is what I'm talking about. So this is what I got. I got that little pile of ash right there. And then I've got all of this black locust right here. Good pile right there. And a lot of that was all the way back in there that I pulled up here, and then that fallen over tree I pulled up, and then it was back in there, and I pulled some right there. I swung some over to that side. That's a good pile right there. And then I've got a little pile right there, and I got that pile there. So there is some decent wood down here. I know the piles don't look like that much, but I can just imagine stacking them up in a bucket and what they'll look like in the dump truck bed. But yeah, so far so good. I think mission accomplished, and I've still got to go on the other side of the hill right there and go down to the other bottom and make a little pass through there. I've got a couple of trees over there that have fallen, I've cleaned up. Some of them good, some of them just need shoved off the trail. But yeah, I think mainly the main goal that I got done was I can get the dump truck on top of that ridge now, and I don't have to track my skid loader all the way over there, all the way up here, up that hill, back that ridge, and all the way back to the road. Because that has always been the biggest struggle here, is getting the wood out. Because I can put it in the bed of the buggy and drive it out, but it only holds maybe probably about a third of a rick, and I've got to load it in the bed of the buggy, then drive it out to the road and put it in a truck. So I'm handling it twice. And all that ash, or all that locust you saw, is pretty dense, heavy wood. So for me to have to pick it up, put it in the bed of the buggy, and then throw it in the bed of the trailer or truck, it can be done. That's a lot of lifting though. So ideally, if I can bring the big bucket in here and, you know, stack it in the big bucket where I only got to pick it up a foot off the ground rather than 4 feet into the bed, and then dump it right out of the bucket into the bed of my dump truck, that is ideal. So I'm going to get back up to the top here. I'll show you the other bottoms and what I'm doing over there. Stuff cut up here, and I kind of cleared a path to get to it so I can get to it easy, but I'm not going to pull it all. It's all small stuff. I might even just get that with the buggy. It's all like sub 10-inch stuff, and it's hackberry and ash. So yeah, let's keep going. So I cut this sycamore up here yesterday. It's all a good straight tree. Normally I would not cut sycamore up because it doesn't split very well, but this was pretty easy. It's nice and straight, so hopefully it'll split up decent. I spent a lot of time to cut it up. So it's on both sides of the trail, as you can see there. I'm not going to take the time to pull it all together because it's nice and open, and I can easily pull the bucket right up to it and load it up. Again, that stuff I might just do with the buggy because it is small enough that I can pick it up without busting my back. But while I'm in here, I'm working on this trail, clean everything up, and like I said before, there's tons of honeysuckle. I didn't know the word for it last time, honeysuckle, and it's everywhere, so I just rip this stuff out as I go instead of just mowing it over. That piece is stuck in there, that way it doesn't grow back. By maintaining these trails, not only is it easy for me to get firewood now, I can ride my buggy buggy on them, and in the future it's easier to get around and get more phones free. So it seems like about once a year it's a good idea to come through here with the excavator or something and clean all this stuff up and try to keep it somewhat maintained. Done now. I got the mini loaded back up, and I didn't even have to use the chainsaw. Didn't have to get off the machine one time, and I got a lot of stuff done. So you're gonna have to come back and see me put this dump truck in the woods, and we'll load up all that wood into the bucket of the skid loader, bring it up to the top of the hill, and dump it in the bed. So that'll be it. Very pleased with what I got done. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.